Bum, ba, da, da, dum. Alright. Hello, it's been a while. Hope you've been good. I gotta disappear and recalibrate myself. Okay, there we go. Fixed that. Should this game it's okay. Like, there's stuff. I have the VODs of this. Obviously, they don't go anywhere. So if you're so inclined, how's you doing? Confidence is going up. He's getting more confident. He has officially proved someone innocent completely. So, doing good, I would say. Alright. Oh, I should make this visible for sanity's sake. That's great to hear. Yeah, he's getting better. Wow, Miss Letstrade is really looking daggers at that mysterious gentleman. They grow up so fast. Hello, 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 hello. You're just in time. We need to do something to calm things down before she loses control and attacks him again. Look at those piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood to talk. We have to do something quickly before this mysterious... I gotta shimmy over a little bit. Before this mysterious gentleman leaves to fetch the police or something. Hi, Windybank. Mr. Windybank is clearly at a loss here. Don't take for me, I guess. We have to do something about this before he reaches for that weapon of his. Oh yeah. What am I supposed to do? Look at Mr. Windybanks watching diligently over his shop. There's so many things I'm curious about. So if you remember her, this is Ginny, who helped Jekyll and Hyde over here. Previously, she came in for this jacket that she said was her father's. Well, this guy named Benedict, I can't remember his first name to save my life, Egbert Benedict, and he says that she stole his jacket and put it in there, so now he's claiming it as his. He said the password, like the secret word that Windybank over here. Yes, Eggs Benedict. So Windybank over here has a certain password for people so that he doesn't have their names printed down because of certain clientele. And he pretty much said the password, so he believed that this guy was the one who had the jacket. She says it's her father's. He's looking for a disc that plays in this. It's like the old type of discs where they have like the little bumps on it to play something. So he's looking for another disc. So I don't completely believe that this jacket is his. Hopefully that is the simplest thought, because we're at the beginning of this case. Oh boy. But somehow I don't really feel like this is the right time to be browsing. Calming this fraud situation must be our first priority. Like a phonograph disc? Yes, a phonographic disc. Yes, that is correct. Yes, 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 yes. And I'm fairly certain that we need to find just the great thing we need among the articles here in the shop. I have it in my hand anyways, I could literally show you. It's this disc. See the bumps on the disc? Or... Does that... What is that? Huh. To McGill. Hello, 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 hello. The dead man? Why would there be a disc from Magnus McGill here?
Oh look, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc, look.
Yes, that's the quick summary of this case. Oh yeah, I'm assuming you know McGill, the guy with the hat. He's dead. He exploded in a carriage. Literally. Yeah. Yeah, why is a dead man's, music disc here?
And then a scribbled word or two, it looks like somebody's name.
Oh, I'm in front of... Hi, Susato, I'm sorry.
Or... McGild.
McGild? It couldn't be.
But it is, Mr. Naruto. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live.
But why? Why is his name on this? The music box disc information has been updated to the court record. Hello, 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 hello. What do you mean, why not? The pity pool, I don't know. I got also a 4-star light cone. Not his light cone, but a 4-star light cone nonetheless. I don't know. It worked out. I'll take it. I needed it anyway, so yeah. Okay. What do I do? Like, okay. I only got him once, now I'm out of pulse. Oh my gosh, I forgot he was here again. I keep forgetting that Shlomes is here. Not yet. Well, it's just because of that I got the thing, it's fine. Mr. Shlomes? What are you examining with such keen interest there? Are you, as you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. When did you get food? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruto. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. What do you mean? I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, the 7% solution of caramel. Shlome's caramel. Wow, he has his own caramel thing. Excuse you, I do have luck, thank you. I don't know. Yeah, this is not jovial, but that's his thing. But yes, that literally says Shlome's caramel. So he has a caramel business? What does he not do? Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruto? But how could you? I was so lonely. So desperately lonely. Then, why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. Are you lonely? Was me being in the middle of the fight making you lonely? Golly, man. He is like a puppy dog that needs attention. Maybe, it's definitely possible that his family could own a caramel brand. Yes, he's dropped. You were really sad, weren't you?
Poor Mr. Shlomes. I feel simply awful for you.
It would seem that my inferences are correct.
Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again.
And what did he get wrong now? We found him, he's just not showing it. Yeah. He's very needy, my gosh. My dear madam, sometimes I wonder, which my genius for deduction to be commoditized. How much could I pawn it for? Think of the price and maybe take 25% off of the slight misaccuracies, and that's probably what you'd get. Seems Mr. Slomes has had another of his flash of inspirations, but who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Miss Letstrade and the mysterious gentleman. I think that needs to be fixed. What's the right thing to do here? Listen to the deduction. There's nothing else to do. Alright. Well, Miss Letstrade, it would appear you found yourself in something of a predicament.
Where the blue blazes have you been?
Pardon?
When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help right away, not an owl liner.
Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you? You don't know the famous detective? It's the best I can do. It's probably not... I am sorry to the people who has that accent. But I cannot. I can try my darndest. Mr. Egbert Benedict, you have in my eyes veritably... Oh my gosh, your words! You have in my eyes a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. That is a sentence that he has just spouted right now. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. Dude, then better don't try. Oh boy. It's like, when a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later. Something like that, if I slow down. That's the closest I can maybe get. I beg your pardon? The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. Oh my gosh. How has he figured this out? I'm very intrigued. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, golly. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with the intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what do you say to my deductions? Oh, wow, he got it spot on again. He can get things like sort of spot on, it just really depends. How? He's turning as white as a hard-boiled.
It would seem that once again, Mr. Slomes has made a flawless deduction.
Maybe because he was depressed, he figured it out more accurately? Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes logic and reasoning spectacular. Great deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Mystery Man's Aim. Alright. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. Hello. No, I do not know. You claim to have followed this pickpocketeer, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The truth is something quite different. What the frick is that? As revealed by what you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. Huh? The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employment. Well, yes, he seems to be well off. Seems to be is the word. Doesn't mean he is. Because looks can be deceiving. Just like how Magnus Beguiled seems such a nice person. You know, giving money to make a park and it was named after him, but then also, you know, blackmailing people with debts. You know, just a little bit of the thing. I wonder if this is going to connect to Beguiled's death. I'm very curious. Because I don't think Van Zeeks exploded the carriage. A great man all around. Who, Beguiled or Benedict over here? In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. Yes. That didn't answer the question. Anyway, he's got AG initials, so that's not... That is not the name that he... Not that. I want this. Because he says his name's Egbert Benedict. Why does he have a cane that says AG on it? Unless he stole it. So then he's not any better than Ginny over here. That cane which you unwittingly clutched to your person exhibits an oh my gosh. Incontrovertible contradiction. The words you say, Herlock, are wild. The cane which you unwittingly, golly, the cane which you unwittingly clutched to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What are your utter rot? I've had this cane for years. Well, when you're trying to say it all at once, the brain just goes, what? The contradiction of which I speak of course, is the missing fur rule. What the frick does that mean? The bottom of the cane? Is that what the rubber thing on the bottom is supposed to be? The end of the walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. Huh. I'll give it to this game. It has done a great job at tying each case to not like the other histories, where most cases are just not that one way is worse than the other. Yeah, that is true. I think it just depends on what they want to do with the story. If you connect it together, you have to be able to follow through really well. And if you want to do separate contained stories, that works too. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. Is it a sword? Is it a sword contained in there? You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you advertently facilitated the answer of which the next conundrum is present to present itself. Yeah, like the top part of this could be pulled out to be a sword. I'm not saying that's the case, I'm just guessing. Because this could be the sheath. It could be like a thin one, like a rapier. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. It would be cool. I don't know if that's the case. It's just an interesting guess. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see? From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane to make such a stout handle? Mused I. He might just like fashionable handles of his cane, I don't know. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod is the broken handle of a shovel. They do look similar, but that's some fancy freaking handle of a shovel, man. Is the handle of a broken shovel. What? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive from coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to vacate the ground beneath the premises. Yeah. I'm so confused. So you want him to take an employment at the establishment so that he could go dig underground? For what? What do you mean? What a calculated crime you've conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. Conclusion: to tunnel underneath the pawnbroker. This is the most far-fetched I've heard from him yet. Great crime. Alright, now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. We must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. He is fascinating, that is for sure. How does he get these ideas? I must know. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbroker with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Cheese at the end of watching him play. It'd be interesting. Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is telling more than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and could virtually dig beneath its floor. We're continuing on this thought, okay. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. It could be maybe this picture here, it could be this. It could be this. Could be that. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. So you're saying he's going to dig a hole underneath the pawnbroker to go into the sewers to then sneak into the bank? That is not the worst thought he has ever had. Because he could be running late. Yeah, it could be. It really suffers from tunnel vision. Once he gets an idea, he doesn't stop. Yep. Smart. I don't think it's the worst idea that he has concocted. But why would this man, who is rich, and you say doesn't need a job, why would he himself go to the pawn shop to dig underground? Wouldn't he have someone else do it for him? Oh, was it a plot of a Sherlock Holmes story? So it's a reference? I'm sure there's been worse ones. Yeah, there has been some interesting ones. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? Yeah, or just bribe the shopkeeper. That works too. Her looks. Yep, it's still crazy. By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway. Okay. What does that even mean? That you went from cat to human now? That flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you? In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. But master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this Lurdrid? Lurdrid? Lurdrid. Do you mean species? I think you mean species. Those are... What you're saying is very different to what I think you mean to say it is. I think it's... Lurid? Lurid. Which brings us to the at last to the last chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Yes, he's dead serious. Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally the answer's no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? You like his hat? Yeah, it is a nice hat. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what he's talking about either. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this postcard tells all we need to know. Okay. Postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me. I don't know what's happening either. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will be soon underway. Yes, he's the only one who knows what the frick's going on. And the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank, on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank. The special reserved funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top-secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Are you stupid, Harlock? What are you doing? It's top-secret police information and you just blurted it out in a public area. Are you insane? Yep. This one takes the cake. He knows something we don't. Well, now we know what it was how he came with this conclusion. But if only police know, how the frick would this guy know? Does he work at the bank? What is the excuse that Herlock's gonna say? Isn't the kid Herlock adopted as a police in her pocket? Kind of. Yes. Sort of. But I don't know if he knows the secrets of the universe. I don't know about that, but... She does have them. Irish does have them in her pocket, but I don't know if that is in the... She makes good food. That's the only thing. So I don't think they're swayed with money, for all I know. Conclusion: to steal the Great Exhibition's reserve funds. Thus concludes Herlock Sholme's great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. I felt like my brain just went, what? Mr. Sholmes. Well, Mr. Naroda, an impressive upbeat deduction for a detective wrecked with loneliness, would you not agree? Oh, no. I don't want to disappoint him now. Was it true that what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault?
Indeed, though few know of its existence, it's one of the government's most closely guarded secrets.
And they thought they could give Herlock that information and nothing would happen?
Gregson told me in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly, in fact.
You just realized you messed up. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it?
There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly it's because the man is a criminal.
Okay. Certainly short-sighted. Yep.
What if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret.
Oh. By the fact that Willie and he didn't get by getting into some shenanigans. That is true. That is another weird thing. I'm surprised Gregson gave it to him. Yes, the realization. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here, after all. Oh my life, I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous.
Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care.
That smile. Just the... I didn't mess up. This was a test. It was a lesson. Sure, buddy. If that makes you feel better.
One can never be sure that someone's privy to secrets won't disclose them, and once the word is out, it's out.
Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Slomes.
An excellent idea, Mr. Naruto, an excellent idea. Ha 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 ha. Well then, Mr. Naruto, you know what to do, I'm sure.
Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. What a weird thing. Secure was just a thing Herlock would break into just to prove he could do it because he thought it would be a challenge. Yes, that sounds exactly like something that he would do. Alright.
Very well then, let us start once more from the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes magnificent, logic and reasoning spectacular.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Slomes. Alright. Let's see where we go from here. We must ask ourselves, what business do you venture the pawnbrokery? It is a good question. I don't know. By the way, I love the picture of just a doggo. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here having your... blah blah blah. But that is most certainly a lie. So obviously this is wrong. So what would it be? As revealed by that which you hold in your hand, yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is staff recruitment flyer. Which we know which we know isn't the case since we're getting question marks. Right, Sasato? I think it's funny that how I'm standing, I look about almost as tall as Ryunosuke, and Sasato looks shorter than me. It's like, wow, I can be taller than someone for once? I'm in the game. Yes, I have been in the game when it comes to these particular scenes. the mentor figure is, Kazuma. This is, Suzato Mikotoba. She's the, aide. It's on her tippy toes. That doesn't happen often. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. But look, I can feel tall for once. So by Mr. Sloane's reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig through the floor.
Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he?
No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is where? What did Mr. Benedict here oh my gosh. That says a lot about your height, yeah? No, I am not small, Red. I am average height. The question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? Let me shimmy over, and then I'll go back. Stylish hat. What's average for you? What the frick is that? What does that say? What the frick? 5 foot. Did someone make... Did she make a ransom note? Oh. Look at all the scribbles notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it.
What is it?
Listen to what it says. Name, Ginny Let's Trade. Height, 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Let's Trade. With a interesting picture.
Goodness.
There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although, if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure. And look.
And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windy Banks Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption... Deadline 15th of April.
Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? That's a proper English gentleman's cane, isn't it? Look at the beautifully polished brass on the handle.
Yes, but Mr. Slomes is right. It's not the sort of handle you usually see on a cane.
Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course.
Perhaps you could adopt a cane, Mr. Naruto. It might rather suit you.
I have a feeling it might argue with the sword around my waist. Well, there's nothing under his hat. So I guess we'll go with this. Info about Miss Let's Trade. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the info about Miss Let's Trade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer, pertain to the pickpocket Miss Let's Trade, and to Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery here. Oh, there we go. You originally told us that you had nearly given chase after Miss Let's Trade stole the redemption ticket from you. Yeah, why would you have a weird description of her if you were chasing after her? How would you even know her name? But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. She has a bounty, but he doesn't have a wanted thing. That's not what it is. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean here to Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery, and today the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. and you have gone to some lengths to hide these reasons for your pursuit of Miss Letstrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. Okay, the cane. Blah, blah, blah. I've had this cape for years. Okay, can I now look at the thing? Yeah, it's getting interesting. What's a ferrule? Ferrule?
It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of the cane, Mr. Naruto.
Ah, the bit that makes the nice clinking sound on the pavement?
Yes, exactly, and Mr. Slums is right. It appears to be missing on this cane.
But it doesn't actually look broken, does it?
No, it doesn't, though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Slums identified the cane as suspicious.
In other words, there's something secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we not know. We don't know. I'm assuming it's the initials. Look here, Miss Susato. There's some letters on the handle.
Oh yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names.
Well, yeah, because it's easier that way. Yeah, his name is supposed to be Eggs Benedict. It's not ED, so AG is either his real name or it's a cane that he got from someone else. Magnus McGild. Well, Magnus would be MM. Because his first name was Magnus, and McGild was McGild. So I don't think it would be Mr. McGild. Yeah, it's McGild. Yeah, Magnus McGild. Not a bad guess, though. Unless he also was using a fake name, which is also a possibility. So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean?
That's right. And the initials on this cane obviously... Oh.
AG. Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? Because it's weird.
Take that!
Alright, let me move over. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Egbert Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Apollo could tell. Well, that wouldn't even work even then, because Apollo's last name isn't Godot, it's Justice. Yet in a most possessive manner you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed. Would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't... You said before that you had that cane for years. Where'd it go? So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. What broke? I heard something like, it sounded like fabric ripped. You recoil, sir, is something wrong. I heard something snap. Oh, that would be weird. What snapped is his sanity? That is very possible. Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Letstrade redeemed the fine-looking overcoat, and now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name. And claiming that the overcoat belongs to him.
We know that he actually identified Miss Letstrade from a written description. which suggests that everything else he told us is untrue.
So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. I heard it snap. Yeah, there it is. I did hear it snap. Because it would fit him if it was his.
Oh, the seam on the shoulder here is coming apart. Look.
So it is.
Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl.
Wow, so I did get that right.
But now I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open.
He hit a growth spurt. Well, even if he moved around weirdly, it would be strange. Because if it was only in there for like a couple months, it'd be really weird. We don't even know how old this man is. Well, when you watch a lot of movies and games and things, you hear ripping fabric all the time. So it was like something like fabric ripped, because it has that certain sound to it that other things can't make. He doesn't have an age. It just says question mark with his age. If you look closely, it might be a tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting and he wouldn't have any hope of fastening it at the front. If he were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart.
Then I'd like to see.
Sorry?
How can we make Mr. Benedict run around?
She's really giving this some thought.
Take that!
And move back over. Alright. The split seam, which you would evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Well, because if he's a rich gentleman, his coat should fit him. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so badly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. This catalogue of untruth has all been for one very specific purpose. And it's gonna be the stupid thing to steal the article. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windybank. Well, he connected the dots. Well, this is the equivalence of a thrift store. That's the thing. It's a pawn shop. So why would he get it if he's a rich gentleman from a pawn shop? It put it in there for a certain amount of time. What really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. To send with a redeemed item. Yeah, he got there eventually. Now let's try to get rid of this reserved funds stuff happening. What do you mean? You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to flit some tawdry article of pawnage? Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I possibly have known the relevant details? Ne sais pas? Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, your fugitive glance is more than I could have hoped. Blah, 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 that's like... Alright, let's consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword related to the pawn property of another. The S is silent in ne sais pas. So is both S's silent? So is it net sais pas? Because are both S's silent, or is it just the one with nest? Or the one with PAS? Well, thank you. I don't know what. Back to English 101. Well, depending on the... You should speak in French rather than English. I don't know French. Oh, in pas. Okay. Ne sais pas. I don't know. For whatever... Who knows? Some languages come easier to some living beings, and sometimes it doesn't. It really depends. And I don't know. When you... I'm not saying that the caricatures of some shows that have, like, you know, someone be a French person, the way that they enunciate words, for some reason, is very memorable. Yeah, I can agree with that statement. Clearly, you have better time with French pronunciation than English. I don't know. But thank you. I wanted to say thank you because that is a big compliment from someone that speaks that native language. Alright. Now I'm gonna move again because Susano's here. Hang on! Slow down! Blah blah blah.
The direction of the deduction must be changed rather dramatically now, I think.
I'm not Canadian. Not every Canadian knows French. Don't let her do Spanish, though. Okay, I have attempted. Give me a break. I have attempted. I have gotten it wrong, and I have admitted when I've gotten it wrong. Yes, no more talking of tunneling into the sewers. Which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword.
Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Wendybank would never allow you to redeem the article.
Why are you doing this? Golly. But I hope that day never comes. With what? Trying to read Spanish words? I don't think it will. Or at least ones that are not people use in, like, TV shows or things all the time. I don't know. Or looking at it another way, if you did know the word, Mr. Wendybank would allow you to redeem the article, whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Council notice. Notelet. Look at this, Mrs. Sato.
It appears to be a memo that Mr. Wendybank has scribbled to himself.
Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Wendybank must make a note of the watchwords he gives Oh my goodness. Mr. Wendybank must make a note of the watchwords his customers give him right before their eyes. And in an alarmingly clear script as well. Why would you ever put that on the desk? Don't worry. It's fine. Reading something fast just ends up making the words strange.
Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see.
Yeah, that's really bad. Why would you ever put that there? He should put it in the back where it's locked away. Why would you ever do that? Like, why would you ever do... You're a business, so if people's stuff gets stolen, they can't trust you, so why would you leave it on the desk where anyone could come walking in and say the word randomly? Golly. And there's both of due to their... Huh. Alright, hang on 1 second. Alright. We always learn fun facts in my chat for whatever reason. It is a thing. What do you mean I already knew that? Well, yeah, that is obvious history you learn when you learn about Canada. Because in the US, you learn about Canada, Mexico, Central America, Cuba. It's not my country's history. Golly. It's a country near to me's history. You learn about the US. Yep. Because they're neighbors. You should know about your neighbors. Okay, present. Notelet. The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Do you mean Singapore? That's in Australia, but I've never seen that. Is there a different place called Singapore? Because it looks like Singapore, but spelled weird. Well, at least different in English. Well, because Singapore, which is the same way as spelling Singapore, it's very close. Just a slight shift in the ending of the word. What do you mean? Singapore is from Australia. What do you mean? Excuse me. I remember. I'm thinking of a different thing. Golly, my brain is going blah. No, yeah, that one happens in another thing. It's in the nation with... It's an island. No, it's part of Asia. What am I doing? Singapore is part of Asia. I've thought about it. Maybe when it goes on sale, it'd be something interesting to play. The method is revealed by the note... Okay, we read that. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. It's in Asia. It's near the ocean. Golly. Singapore. Technical islands of North Australia, along with Australia proper, are classified as the continent Oceania. So then, put it as Oceania then. My brain. I think I was... Location. Asia. It literally says Singapore, continent, Asia. Because it's like... Is it one of the... Let me see. Yeah, it's close to Malaysia. And above Indonesia. I don't know why my brain just, like, completely, like... I don't know how I messed up Singapore and Sydney. My brain, I think, just completely went beep. South? I think it said south. Let me double check. Southern tip of the Malay Peninsula. So it's south. It's south. Yeah. I guess if I can find the, I'm literally... Here, I can pull up this, map thing. Might as well. Since we're talking about this point, then we'll get back to the case. There's the map. So India's over here. You have Asia. You got Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, China, Taiwan, Philippines. And then you got Singapore. Right there. Apparently this stopped. Because then this is Indonesia. It's all these different islands. There. Yeah, it's there. That tiny little, that's where it is. And then Australia is right here. Well, I've heard a lot of good things about the Philippines. They seem very friendly people. Alright. It's okay. I messed up, but I wasn't technically far off. Weirdly enough. Alright. He then consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchmaker matches that of the article in question. Expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. Yeah, it's fine. To not be sure. It's fine. I had to double check. I'm like, it is... When I messed up, I was like, wait, I remember. Because it was... I know it's on the ocean, so I just didn't remember if it was connected to the Asian peninsula or not. It is not. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in the shop before your accusations against Miss Letstrade. Well, I mean... And what I mean by that is, I didn't know it was an island. I thought it was maybe just a peninsula. But it is an island. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windybank. When the diligence broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master plan you had devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Letstrade. Master plan? Master plan? Golly, his voice is changing. Okay, this is the final thing. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? Are you wait. Is on the planet Earth. Yes, it is. Good job, wise guy. Is this one of McGuile's coats? Because it said for McGild. So does that mean that this is a dead man's coat? Which it would fit because Magnus was on the shorter side. And he had very thin shoulders and arms. Now that I think about it. Why I say that is because this disc was in the coat. And he was on the shorter stature side, so it would fit that the coat would not fit someone like him because he's taller than McGild. For an ill-fit overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But didn't that dude have dually arms? That's what I said. This guy has more buff for... He has more of a broad back than McGill does. That's why the coat was breaking. But naturally, you have a very good reason to make them yours, don't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. This picture tells us how they do it. And back over here again. The article we're talking about on the overcoat in the music box disc that was in one of the pockets. It doesn't even fit him. He hasn't even closed the buttons. That's the thing. That tells you it doesn't fit him. You can also tell the way the sleeves are. I'm probably in the way, yep. Look at the sleeves. The way the sleeves are hanging on him also doesn't fit. Because they would sit neatly at his wrist. And they're kind of going towards his, covering his wrist. Or it's just a style of choice. That is also a possibility. Which, according to Mr. Windybank, isn't even worth a penny. But okay. Yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why?
I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruto.
Could we? Really? I better have a thorough look through all the evidence we have collected so far. It's a this. Present. Music box disc. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? It reads from McGild. See? Oh, excuse me. He has more of a broader back. But, yeah, here's his arms. Like, see? It fits his style, now that I think about it. The suit really does fit his style. Yes, isn't it great? Ah, Mr. Magnus McGild. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. Yes, it was. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGild was a man of unusual small stature, in fact. He was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. McGild wore a purple suit on the day he died. This could just be one of his coats that he had there. Ugh. Yeah, he died in his purple coat. Not this brown one. That's why I didn't even think it was his. Okay. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Egbert Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today... He went out just nice, like, I guess so. Was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGild. Yeah, that is a good thing. No, I just have a cough drop in. To acquire an item from Magnus McGill. Deduction complete. Elementary. Well, no, I moved this one thing from my phone. No, that's what the sound probably was. Well, Mr. Magnus McGill. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances. That is true.
Mr. Slomes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
It is probably something I bumped into with my hands. It's definitely possible. Pray tell, Miss Osato.
Well, according to what Mr. Windybank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the overcoat could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today will be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Wow, 2 months. Wait a darn frickin' minute. Magnus? Put the... Wait. Things are connecting in my brain. Besides the fact that 2 months ago was when he passed away, Gina said that the coat was her father's. So was Magnus McGill her father? Is that what that is, or was that a lie? I'm very curious if that is the case. Well, today is April 15th, so 2 months ago today. Would have been the 15th of February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. It's because it's cheaper that way, but I really like the beeps when a character is talking. That is true. Deposited at 10:50 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests...
Yes, 15th of February.
It's precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place.
And 10:30 in the evening. It's precisely the time at which terrible events were unfolding.
Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. Okay, so... the murder in the omnibus happened, but McGill was seen in the omnibus. Well, it says let's trade. And just because she has a different last name, it could be her mother's. Or what the orphanage gave her as a last name. If we're taking that as an idea. They might not be related. This is me just speculating. So are you saying that Magnus gave Gina his jacket? Or is there two Magnuses that exist? Is he alive? Or... because I have many questions. You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deduction you choose, however... I don't know. I'm questioning things. Oh, no! Hello! I wish you luck with the group project. Those are always fun. Hello. I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. Great. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. What do I do? I wish you luck with that. There are some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not.
Hold it!
Mr. Windybank, to my rescue! This is my shop. I can't allow harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to... I would have to die. Mr. Windybank, no. Right enough. That's enough. Alright, that's enough. Inspector Gregson. Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. This alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh? Someone saw what was going on. Thank you. Oh, praise be. You're here at last. Just moments away from forwarding my own life in my own very own establishment. It would seem you have the upper hand. Yeah, for now. Right, you have a lot of explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. Yep.
Petty? Mr. Windybank very nearly met with his end.
Yeah, by his own weapon, as far as I can tell. Oh dear. Yep, the fish and chips, man. And the whole Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of this case I'm supposed to be working on. What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. Ta. He's getting away. Get after him, lads. Whistle the beat officer, too. Sir. Yes, that's what happens. When you're trying to voice act all these different characters. There's been a spat of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. So we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble.
Oh, mister, I was worried there for a while. Very worried indeed.
He has a panic button. Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning. Oh, yes? I'll be taking that whatever is of McGill's down to the yard, thank you very much. Yes, so hand it over. Oh, yes, of course.
No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine.
That is mine. I don't know. I think Herta would be fun to voice just because of her attitude. Sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGill has been taken in as evidence now. As evidence? The police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow. We have no choice but to copulate. Capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. And so we handed Mr. McGill's disc over to Inspector Gregson. Capulate. It's... I know the wording. And we're summarily turfed out the shop and onto the street. I messed up the wording. Give me a break. And unexpected for me. I don't know. It just sounds like an interesting... She is someone who seems like it would be fun to voice. 15th of April. Baker Street. See, that's why I ain't grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and stuff away from you. Oh, really, Miss Letstrayed? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What?
Oh my, surely you were given that.
Yeah, the deed let me keep it, after I looked daggers at him enough for long enough. He went through pockets and then said go on then, have it, before telling me to scamper. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate them. Can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. You want to voice Sam Paul? Yeah, he would seem fun to voice too. Well, really one was that nice shiny disc, man.
Music box disc?
But Mr. Windybank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash. Give him a long, hard stare. Do you want to voice the trash can? You want to be the buff trash can? I think not, Miss Letstrayed. We shan't ever enter Windybanks again today. Why not? That's not fair. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windybank. But that disc's mine. I had the ticket for this coat, and it was in the coat's pocket. And there should be something else, I know. That's what the Rock Cove said, ain't it? Just a yeah. I think that would also be fun. That is true. Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well, then that's mine too. Whoever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Miss Letstrayed, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, and it's all your fault, Slomes.
What are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening?
Eh?
Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital.
You know, with the right instrument this time, Shlomes? No, Ta.
Oh. Why would I come to your place, eh? Have you lost your... head or something? Oh dear, she's gone. Having revealed on me quite unnecessarily, I might add.
Hopefully YouTube didn't mind it. What scene? It didn't do anything to my understanding. I can't help wondering. Perhaps she might turn up anyway.
Interesting.
When she has a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come.
Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for a potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing.
Probably way too many. Yeah, that... nothing, to my knowledge, because you can't really see anything. It's not graphic. It's not physically shown. How's that sound?
I should be glad of your company later, too.
Sorry?
I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Probably under 20.
Oh, how exciting. What is it? You shall have to wait and see, Miss Osato.
Why is that the thing that you care about the most? My gosh. Alright, 15th of April, 3:46 p.m. Shalom's Suite.
Ah, Susie and Bruno, come in, come in.
Good afternoon, Iris.
Thank you so much for breakfast this morning.
Oh, don't mind it. Mention it. Goodness, look at the time already.
Busy as always?
I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you?
Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Come on, hee, you'll never guess.
Looking at those little eyes of hers shining.
Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it?
It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting?
Oh, what a surprise! Yes, that's wonderful news.
Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea. Yeah, Iris is, she's got skills for a 10-year-old. Golly, she can clean, she can cook, she can frickin' make gadgets. She is a published author. She's busy.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips for a real professional.
You forgot. Oh yes, that sounds like fun. Yeah, she has quite a resume.
I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you Mr. Naruto?
By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Slomes up to?
Hurley? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Hello, Mr. Slomes.
I beg that you won't speak to me.
Sorry?
I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here.
Sure. I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
Yes, I see.
Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes, Hurley does.
And she's the mature one, and she's 10. He's on an interesting thing. I don't know what to say. The freaking 34-year-old is acting more like a child than the 10-year-old.
Mr. Slomes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they?
Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are. See, that was always the question. He said his yellow face. Something like that.
What's the matter, Bruno? You have ever such a funny look on your face.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I don't think so. I think he's just crazy on his own.
I know who it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Slomes, you're wondering? Am I right?
How? How did you...
Oh, Bruno, I can read you like a book.
This girl is dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask me anything, I won't mind.
I do love her little goggles, they're so cute. Ginny. So, by Ginny, you mean Miss Let's Try, the young woman from the McGild case 2 months ago, right?
Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends.
How old is Ginny? I don't even... How old is Ginny? 16? 17. That's fine. Them being friends is fine. There's a 7-year gap, but as long as she's friendly, that's all that matters. Crazy. I don't think she is at all. She can't have been. She's 10. Well, I was like, I think she's 16. There's no way she would be. That would be weird. For her to be a freaking veteran of war. It'd be like, too far. Too far. Alright, I gotta take a quick break. I'll be back and we'll continue this interesting conversation that we need to know about. Okay, so I will be right back. Oh boy. I guess you guys are enjoying the music? Golly. Alright. I really gotta look up how what the song is called. I think there's a whole discography. It is really good, don't get me wrong, I do. I just find it funny that's the thing you guys talk about, which is... Oh my gosh. Whoops. And now we're the bestest of friends, okay. Right.
Oh, hee, what a lovely tail. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can.
Oh.
Oh. And I chased after her down the back alleys.
Add it to the stream playlist. I'm assuming it is called something related to Shalom's. It's probably like. Let me just do this. The Great Ace Attorney Herlock. Hello. Herlock Shalom's Sweet OST. I guess you'd have to see. There's a bunch of stuff about... I thought it would give me the thing instantly, but anyway. Interesting idea of friendship.
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh. There's so many beautiful colors in the world. Jenny wants me to make a whole rainbow.
I suppose this means you've let Miss Let's Trade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yes, that's right. I got bored of it anyway. Really always acts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
What? What do you mean? Poor Hurley.
Oh, I can't wait for Jenny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come. Living with Shloms.
I'm sure you've been wondering, why is it that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Hello. Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents?
My mom and dad aren't with me anymore.
Oh.
My mom passed away when I was born. And at around the same time, my father... Well, he had to go to a fiery land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
He's Watson! Her father has to be Watson! Wilson! Her father's Wilson! Oh, thank you. Yes, it was the first temple. Thank you. So her father is Wilson, which is, supposed to be Watson's counterpart in this universe. Because her father, was working on a case with Herlock. So, Wilson's dead. Now that makes sense why... no, I did not pull for Archon. I have not. I needed shield, so Aventurine was the first thing on my list. Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley?
Yes. My dad and Hurley were always solving mystery cases together.
Yep, so that proves it. She didn't mention that before. So the character in her story is her father? Wow.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there.
Hello. Really? He recorded them all?
So you mean it's true, Mr. Slomes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases?
Oh yes, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Sloane's partner was your father? Oh, I'm doing good. Hopefully you're doing good too.
Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look into the chest. But that only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up.
And found your father's memoirs.
Yeah, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair.
Hey, I'm sad too. I didn't even realize that's where I was going. I thought it was like, oh, she's Wilson. No, her father is Wilson, and she writes the stories based off her father's memoirs. That's wild.
But then he told me that when I found out the author of these accounts, all these accounts, was my father.
Nope, I have not. I have not played that game. So Iris's father was Mr. Sloane's partner. Iris's father. Yeah, this music does not match the tone.
I've practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So it came as quite a shock when Hurley told me he wasn't really my dad, I mean.
Oh. How do you make YouTube using that poker face? Using that face? I just do. It's like if I had a static drawing. It's not that big of a deal. I just move around. I can move around more. Woo! It must have done.
I wonder why Mr. Slomes chose to tell you at such a young age.
Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me.
Oh?
I made it myself. I made it in a free game. Made it myself. To be who I am.
Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There were some things I can just tell. There's some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes.
Oh my gosh. V-Droid. Yes, you were. Yeah, V-Droid. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Right.
Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Dad's diaries.
Well, hopefully you can find your shoes. Oh, didn't mean to do that.
That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, actually.
I'd always assumed Mr. Slomes simply told you all those thrilling stories.
Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solved a case, it's all but vanishes from his mind.
Oh, I see.
Her mom died when she was born. That's what she said. I don't have a cat. But yeah, I think her mom died in childbirth. Because she said after she was born, her mom passed away.
The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved.
Yeah, it was the first thing she said was her mom passed away when she was born. Who's Susato? This is Susato. And this is Iris.
So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone.
Could say that again.
share your father's surname, don't you, Iris?
That's right, Wilson. My father is Dr. John H. Wilson.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you wanted to know what her... Yeah, you gotta pay attention if you want to hear her backstory.
I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see.
Wow, so he really is the counterpart of Watson. Nope. I am not Iris's sister. To my knowledge.
That's what prompted me to study so I can earn a doctorate as well.
Aw, she wants to be like her dad. That's so sweet. Iris's father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Oh no! Oh no! I just realized... Nope, I am not the maid. But I just realized... Oh no! Oh no! This is worse than I thought. It connects the dots. The first case, the murder victim's name was John H. Wilson. We were accused of killing Iris's father in the first case. That was her father in Japan, who died because of that lady. I realized it now. Oh my goodness, it connects. It connects everything together. That was her father. That was her father. Oh my gosh, no! Yep, it did. See? Look. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruto. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Iris's father. It's from the first case. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine in Apira Yume University. That judge is not ugly. He's fine. But yeah, that connects to the first case. Wow. We're connecting the first two cases to what's going on now. I don't know how we're going to connect the third case, which we just finished. I'm going to say he has hair on his head, unlike the other judges. Well, there is one judge that does actually have hair on top of his head. Yeah, I don't think any of us thought the case would matter. I don't know why the judge chased you in your dream. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. And who may that be? What do you mean? Wilson was the guy who was the first victim in the case that Ryunosuke was accused of murdering him. Yeah, that I didn't expect. I completely forgot that his name was John H. Wilson. Miss Osato.
Yes?
Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time.
I think that would be for the best.
So he recently passed away. Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you.
Mr. Slomes.
Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? We did. You ignored us. Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Goodness. Goodness, really?
Do tell me, Mr. Slomes, is your violin unscathed?
Yeah, he looks really good with his Hat on and hat off, which is good. My violin? Whatever you talk about, dear madam.
Oh,
Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. I didn't. It was the crazy lady with the swan on her head. Behold, my dear fellows.
oh, another music box disc.
No, not another disc, Miss Osato. This one is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence, Mr. McGill's disc. No, it's a different color. I didn't do anything!
Oh my.
Then, what's it doing here? I've done nothing. You know, at times, Mr. Naruto. No, it happened at least almost 3 months ago when Wilson passed away, and she was probably put in the care of Herlock until Watson would come back. But obviously, he was murdered, so he didn't come back. I think, though, I have an undeniable turn for detection. I may even be more adept at larceny.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Wonderfully exciting. I'll be your pickpocketing. I'll be your pickpocketing assistant.
Because he was murdered. I just said he was murdered in the first chapter of the game.
And Bruno would be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught.
Right.
Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting. She could write all our menacing crime notifications.
Yes, I'd be delighted.
Because I forget what the reasoning she gave was. I think he didn't like her thesis or the poison she was messing with, something like that. I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Nope, I am not. I just cannot remember the reasoning the lady gave. The music box disc. I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. That sort of compromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Slomes.
Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. Okay. I'll be taking whatever it is of McGill down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. It's a music disc. Oh, yes, of course. If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was precisely at that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars, like this. Oh, he made a copy! He made a copy! Wow. I'm impressed, Herlock. That's amazing. So he made a mold. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel, golly. Ups the stakes, connects the case, well, that just makes Kazuma's case look worse. Each time the game pulls some... off something really clever. We'll see you later.
Indeed, the caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting, the result of a precisely controlled solution.
Well, he made it himself, too.
How extraordinary. Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example, a simple press, and its unique form is duplicated.
I didn't even do anything to Wilson. What do you even mean? I was proved innocent in the case. So how would you even do that? Alright.
I can enter anyone's properties at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment.
Yes, it sounds illegal.
From the image, I was able to create this.
Yeah, it's like, golly, Herlock's back in the game.
I confess I was most curious to know what matter of the music would issue from the disc when played.
The music on the disc. So this game has a Detective Grigson. What's his first name? Richard? It's probably that. No, Tobias. His name is Tobias.
Do tell us then, Mr. Solmes, what music does the disc play?
You'd have to go back into my, VODs of the streams to look at that thing.
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea.
No idea?
None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows?
No, I'm afraid not.
Goodness, you don't know, Runa? Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound.
Why would I want Iris's money?
Small protuberances plug the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music box to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberance on it.
But over time, a new type of player was introduced, which uses discs such as these.
Why would I want anything from the 10-year-old who lost both of her parents? Golly, no.
With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide all around the globe.
Why exactly?
Because the disc is so easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes.
Oh my goodness. Golly. Why do I have to feed Smallring coins? What do you mean, coins?
There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
Why am I Miss Susato is, I think, 16. Yeah, 16. What do you mean? Get more, she's a genius. That still doesn't mean I need... Why would I want to get money from the poor freaking 10-year-old? Well, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by.
It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music even when no performer is present.
But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem.
What do you mean?
As you imagine, the construction of one's firm music box does not match that of another. And we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played.
Yeah, she's 16. See? 16. Welcome back.
There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intraceable.
Ah, I see. We found out that the murder victim in the first case is Iris's father. The Watson equivalent in this universe and worked with Herlock on his cases. I see, that's why. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. Yes, John H. Wilson is Iris Wilson's father. But as you can hear, to no avail. It does sound slightly off. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. I'm over 800 years old, that's all I can tell you. So, I'm presently engaged in acquiring an example of the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's early for you. Always taking things too far.
But my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Your Iris's father. No, she died in childbirth, so how would that work either? Yes, that is certainly true, in the worst case. I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room. What? Magnus McGild. Magnus McGild. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Mr. McGill perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. Yeah, it's been 2 months since McGill died. What do you even mean? The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Yes, literally. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGill's innocence in the trial.
The newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case.
Well, because they didn't finish what they were going to do. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. What do you mean, creepy? In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. Although Mr. McGill was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. Don't forget unlucky. Wow, thanks. It would appear the case is not yet closed. Huh?
Well, it's time we started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Jenny will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Slomes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Well, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. You like the nickname she gives to everybody? Yes, you may be right.
Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windybank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris and Pawn, didn't he?
Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Slomes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe.
So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languished in Mr. Windybank's storeroom, gathering dust.
My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker storeroom
is the safest place for it. More secure than a bank's vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Harley? Was that safe and secure?
Nothing wrong with already playing this game. We're just seeing how it... I haven't played all the way through it, so we're seeing how it goes. So no spoilers.
Well, there might be the occasional mix-up.
Caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Bakersville story, Harley? Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Bakersville. I should love to read it.
What? What's wrong? She's a fan of the works. It's a violin. It's what he named his violin. That he accidentally grabbed the wrong instrument. What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room?
Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Bakersvilles. But how could you know the full title?
It's similar to a violin, it's just bigger? I think it's a type, oh, it's the brand. The Stradivarius is a brand of violin. That's all, it's the brand.
Well,
That's because Mr. Sato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Slomes, of course.
But Bruno, the Hound of the Bakersvilles, has never been published.
What?
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see.
Yeah, Bakersville. So that's why the manuscript is at Windy Banks?
And yet, how could Susie know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
Okay, I'm apparently saying the name wrong. What's new? What is it, Mr. Slomes?
it would appear our guest has arrived.
Miss Let's Trade. Nope. It's totally pronounced that this way, huh? Bum, 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 bum.
Alright. This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going.
No, wait. Miss Let's Trade. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Oh, great.
Oh yes, just wait here, Jenny. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy.
Yep, that's the pun on the name.
Come along, Susie.
Right, of course.
It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Let's Trade. Please make yourself at home.
No, but why? Stop with the random questions, please.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say to you, Millicent? I won't take no for an answer.
Meddlesome it is, then. Oh, the cat's here, too. Everyone's here. Woo! That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sloane's violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina was, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. Is this the calm before the storm? 15th of April, 9:34 p.m. Naruto's legal consultancy. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Iris's cooking was truly divine.
I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sloane's violin even now. What do you even mean?
Best of all, I bet I could steal the glass from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Naruto-san, can I consult with you about something, I wonder?
What's the matter, Sato-san?
It's about the telegram I received.
Ah. The one that arrived first thing in this morning, I suppose. Oh, we're finally gonna get an answer?
I've been summoned.
What? Summoned? What do you mean?
The telegram was from Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me.
It's in this dream. What do you mean? Excuse you. The Lord Chief Justice? When?
Tomorrow morning.
What? Then we have to start preparing at once.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruto-san. I've been summoned all alone.
Alone? Oh, you mean, this one? Or what, this? 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 It's not even that bad. Don't do that. Wow. What on earth?
I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow.
What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. And who's at the door? Oh, who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friends.
Ah, Iris. Hello again. You look like you want... Oh my gosh.
And Gina, too.
Yes, Ginny's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Is that right, Ginny?
Well, yeah.
How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea.
You know, I've learned so much today.
Oh, what? In particular?
All those things Jenny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful?
Just to keep her... You really like her soundtrack, golly. Oh, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we?
I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it.
Don't do that. You're 10 years old, child. You have a bright future ahead of you. Don't do that. You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
Well, you see...
Yeah, I'm glad she found a friend. But golly.
I came to return this.
Wait, what? That's mine.
Oh my, however did you?
I told you, didn't I?
Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
So anyway, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
Thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yes, good night.
So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny?
Hey, they worked with what they could. I think I wouldn't fancy me any chances with a lawyer what lives in a place like this.
Yes, me too.
Okay, you don't have to hit them while they're down. It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about.
I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript.
Yes, I suppose she probably does. Manuscript.
Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you?
I don't know.
Aren't you going to tell me?
I'm so sorry. I need a little more time. Please.
What is she hiding from everyone? Oh, welcome back.
Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward.
Oh, no, not at all, Iris, not at all.
I don't know what this is all about, really, but it's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This mantle script or whatever you call it?
It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in my father's diaries.
Fathers? We're moving along. Maybe. I don't know. I think, well, something about the manuscripts. I don't know how Susato knows the title. I know it just because that's the name of the, chapter, I think.
That's right, I don't suppose I mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but my father was Hurley's assistant once, his partner.
Eh?
They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together.
Is that right, mister? Apparently so. I was so surprised as you are, though.
And my father wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I studied them and write my stories based on what actually happened.
So, where's your old man now, then?
He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time.
Okay, no, she does not know that he is dead.
So, I've never really met him.
Oh, right. Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. The Hounds of Bakersville. Iris, this Hound of Bakersville story. I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts?
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow, from the other cases, I mean.
Oh, how?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it, and I showed the manuscript to Hurley...
I'm doing good, and hello. Hopefully you are doing good.
He turned as white as a sheet. It's the first time I've ever seen him like that.
Well, it must have been a very tough case, then. It pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please do not ask me. So something's going on with this Bakersville story. Wonder what it is.
Alright then, I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. What is with everyone hiding things and then saying, oh, the time is right is why I will tell you, why we won't tell you now? And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windybank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe.
Do with the... maybe. Golly. That really gets my goat, that does. It's treating you like a child. It's mean, that's what it is. Keep its secrets like that. I'm sure Mr. Sloan isn't trying to be mean. If he had said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. Well, same thing with Susato.
I think so too.
You lot are too trusting for your own good. But you can't pull the wool over my eyes. Solmes is lying, Iris. I bet my life on it. What? What?
Hurley's lying to me?
Oh, not best. Ba-da-da-da-da. Okay. Your parents. I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina. I ain't got any, have I? Never did I have.
Oh.
Look, these ends full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born. Not even our mums. Oh. But we all stick together. The older ones looks after the little ones and make sure they get by.
Oh, so that's why you're a pickpocket.
Nah. Davin's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's all we can afford to eat. I'm a little Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Richard Doctor and Liberty Young Lady. Yep, we've met all of them. Chin has this, golly.
Oh, Gina.
I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents I'm in. I always thought it'd make everything right. But I have listened to what I was just said. Sounds like having parents ain't all that easy either. Nope, it's not.
Oh.
I mean, if you know you've never had them, you don't feel like you're always wanting to meet them.
It's true. I do want to see my father so much.
It hurts.
Oh, Iris.
Slomes is lying. Gina, what do you mean when you said that you know Mr. Slomes is lying to Iris? Well, he reckons he popping that manuscript or whatever, what? But come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish.
Oh my, why would you think that, Gina?
It's simple. If that story was really an old Windybank storeroom, then there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Oh boy. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you.
But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it.
Huh. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You ain't just realized it yet. I don't know why Hurley would do it for money. That doesn't fit Herlock's personality. I'm telling you, that mantle script ain't at Windybank's. You'll soon see if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Slomes is a liar like the rest of them.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling the truth sometimes.
See?
Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him.
Don't be too harsh on yourself, Iris. Wow.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Ginny. We should go back downstairs.
Yeah, alright.
Please don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you?
No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina.
You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist. Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night, then.
Goodbye. Iris. Sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult. But deep down, she's still just a child.
Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night, too, Miss Naruto-san.
Good night, Susato. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. Can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. That's a lot of dots. Is he thinking? Mr. Naruto.
Mr. Naruto?
That voice. That's Mr. Slomes. Hello. Yes, it is. What's going on? It's the middle of the night.
It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone.
Gina?
She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty.
Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no?
I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received a distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Osato.
Yes, she did. That's a whole thing. Yeah, that whole first trial was messed up. But yes, this chapter really knows how to set things up pretty well.
No, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now.
Over an hour? Oh.
If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow.
What's this about? What's going on? Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night? At the pawnbroker's place.
That's Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery.
Mr. Windybank's... Oh no!
It's simple. If that store was really an old Windybank storeroom, there's no way someone from half around the world, in other words you, could know about it. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. Could Gina have gone? It seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruto.
Sorry? Oh, no. No, not really.
Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once.
Miss Osato. Guess off we go. Across the street. 16th of April, 1:14 a.m., Baker Street. Wow, it is really early in the morning. The door to Windybank's, it's open. I come up with that chapter. Maybe.
And the lamp is burning.
Must be Gina. Mustn't it?
Let us hope it's nothing more sinister.
What?
Come, there's not a moment to lose. Clearly something's afoot inside.
There's no one here.
Oh yes. There is.
There's a short person and a tall person.
Mr. Slomes! Mr. Slomes!
What the? Has Sloane's been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruto. But after them, go. Right. What the frick? Things have escalated so quickly. Blast. I've lost them. Hello, what do we have here? Lon was just raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sloanes. He's been shot. Shot? With the policeman close behind me, I ran back to Windybanks. He can't be dead. He can't be dead.
Mr. Jones!
Mr. Naruto.
How bad is it?
Oh my gosh.
Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door.
What?
In the storeroom.
What?
Hurry!
What did you see? Well, that is one way. Windybank! And Jin— Oh no.
It's Gina!
Wow. I think we know what our client is going to be for this chapter. Wow. Things escalated fast. I'll be right, Mr. Naruto. After them, go. Yeah, this chapter is wild. Behind that door, in the storeroom. Hurry! It's Gina. But why is she unconscious with a weapon in her hand? From that moment, Windybank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Yeah, they really do make the stakes go freaking up and up and up. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn, before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. "16th of April, 6:21 a.m. Naruto's legal consultancy. Oh, Iris. Oh boy.
A telegram came, but all it said was, wait at home.
Case feels like a weird fumble from this game when the cases have been so strong. Well, it'll, like I said, in the second game, there's a connection, so that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone, everyone was gone. What happened, Runo?
Poor Iris, she's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know.
Something awful has happened, hasn't it?
This poor girl lost both of her parents and now might have her friend be put in prison if we don't help her. Yes, I'm afraid so. Oh, not examine. Events at Windybanks. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windybank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning.
Oh, yes, I had a feeling.
Yeah, and Sholmes, the guardian of her, injured too. You did?
Well, I saw all of the police carriages pulling up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there.
When we entered Windybanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street and I chased after them, but They got away.
So, it was one of them who shot Mr. Windybank, I suppose?
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment.
Oh, why not?
They arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina.
Ginny? But why?
Well, the thing is...
No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that.
I know. None of us think she did it.
Then why did they have to arrest her?
I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. And I don't blame the police for thinking that way when she literally is in a locked room with a man. He's dead. From a wound from the weapon she has in her hand. I don't know if it's the exact same, but it's an assumption. Sloane's situation.
So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He's really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
Oh. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sloane's. Yeah, that's what I would believe. She would be defending Mr. Windybank and herself. I'm just wondering, why is the room locked and those guys came out, is the question. He was taken to the hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Windybank's, a weapon was fired and he took a bullet.
Hurley? Was shot? No.
It's alright. His life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at St. Sinner's. They're tending to him there. I mean, she at least had to be put in custody. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that she definitely has to be questioned because of how the situation looks. She being a prime suspect is not surprising. That doesn't mean it can't change.
I must see him at once.
I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. What? What? Oh no. He's got to be operated on. So it's worse than we thought. Golly. Bad to worse, aren't we?
To operate?
Yeah. So it's not... Obviously, he's not in danger to his life right now, apparently, but they're gonna do surgery, so... Obviously, things are happening.
Oh, poor Hurley.
Injured Sloanes. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windybank's shop. They shot Mr. Sloanes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them. Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but... Well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away. Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously they need to, so hopefully it's successful. Well, I guess I can say this. I know that he's in the second game, so we know it's successful. That's just a fact.
I think that's a very good thing.
Oh my goodness. Good luck. Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Runo.
She's right.
On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris. Susada's situation.
Where's Susie, Runo?
She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
Expected she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while.
Why aren't you there, then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Susato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sloane, so they didn't get started until later. Better at least, yeah. A lot better than the early 18th century.
Ah, I see.
Besides, one of us has to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know and I would have come to the station.
Gina's arrest.
I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
No, I mean, Mr. Slums isn't dead, Iris.
This is also horrible.
The thing is, Mr. Windybank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all of the deposited articles. The storeroom door was locked from the inside.
I see.
But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no.
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards...
Don't tell me there was no one else in the room.
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yes, the only explanation indeed. Well, if I had to guess, the door, like, obviously the door is locked. So, did they get pushed, were they locked in by the thugs? And then they were making noise, and did the thugs open up the little door, like, little flap in the door and shoot at them? And then Gina passed out because of it?
What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well?
What can I say? Damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Slomes and Gina are getting on. I don't think he does. I'm pretty sure Gumshoe's fine.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Bruno. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting.
I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder, but I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me?
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Gina's at the prison. Mr. Slums is probably in his hospital bed.
And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
I see. You're ready for action. Imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Yeah, a lot has happened. Holy moly. But yeah, obviously we're gonna see Mr. Slomes first. Move. I love attic rooms, don't you? They're so exciting. Alright, let's go to the hospital, see how he's doing. Alright, hospital, ward 3.
Hurley. Oh. He's not here.
No, that's not... No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't he? Didn't she? Just like Phoenix, I'm like, gosh. It's... The wording is something to behold, I will say.
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Slomes suffered.
Oh.
Hello, what do we have here? The water's off left. This water's off left. Limits, no visiting, so what are you doing in here, eh?
Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin.
Eh? Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. The least creepy way I could come up with. I said you're not technically wrong, but the wording is something to be said. Little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver is a mysterious family, eh? That's how you see us. Sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he's currently in the operating theater, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation.
extensive.
It'd be several hours since we went in.
Oh dear, is he going to be alright?
Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Oh, no! Oh, no! That sounds painful.
Oh,
I've heard a report that the gent claims he may have had a bit too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see, thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
oh, poor Hurley.
Yeah, I feel bad for Hurley. The anesthetic is not working. What do you mean? Alright. Local prison, cell 13. Hi, Gina. Hello, Gina. They still let her have that in prison. Wow.
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made.
I wish you wouldn't point it at me at all the time, though. What are you here for?
Ginny?
I have a feeling it's because of us that you ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you out. Survive the surgery. Oh no. 18th century, I think is what they said. Well, you can't. Sorry? You're hard. Get lost.
Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't.
You think you know me? Pull the other one.
Oh.
You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me a chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Is more of a chance of surviving. Well, he survives. I know that much, so maybe it is in the 1890s for all I know. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get it? That kind of person I am. But Ginny? I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or something like, said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She's gonna be staring at me more obviously if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Ginny?
Stubbornness. Legal representation. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? You wanted me to sign some papers, represented papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. They're pinning it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do.
Why do you think that?
Because that's what it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums, my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it gets your mates dragged off by the coppers or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly half scaffold back on it because of it. You can't trust no one, that's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass, dead. Gina has been living a very hard life. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it. Ginny?
Ginny? Don't you trust Runo?
She just says she doesn't trust people. Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. What happened? Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night, at the pawnbroker's. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. The old bloke walked in on me, and you know the rest.
But why, Ginny? Why would you do that?
But she hasn't talked about the burglars, though. So why hasn't she talked about the two thugs? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two.
Diving ain't easy, you know? It's a lot of work, and half the time you ain't getting nothing.
Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else?
Oh, give it a rest. What you be point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference.
Please tell us, Ginny. We will believe you, whatever it is.
Believe me, don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have.
What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
Unforgivable lies. What do you mean? What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? I think it's exactly as she says it. Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we can help.
Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now.
Ginny, please.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by.
A picture of a cat and a snowman. A photographic print of a really adorable cat.
I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point me having it.
This was taken by the 7th and 19th century, which puts it around 1890. I always confuse this 18th century for the years that start with 18. Well, that's always happening. It's fine. Yeah, it's the 19th century. I think the point is, Paul got your point.
I wonder what
a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat.
Does Magnus McGill have a cat? Or does she have a cat?
Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye.
Oh, Ginny.
White cat photograph has been entered into the court record. A photograph depicting a sweet little white cat obtained from Gina while interviewing her in her prison cell. The point is, less risk of a septic shock. Yep, the point is he gets to live. Alright, time to go to Windy Banks, see what's going on here. Interesting. That's at the... So the calendar's been changed. And look where the bullet is, though. It's up there. That's a frickin' giant bullet. Windy Banks Pawnbrokery. Oh, you're fine. Simple mistake.
This is where it happened, then? Last night?
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place, looking for valuables. It's in the calendar.
But apart from the policeman in here, he wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oh, yeah, I heard that. Oh, Inspector, good morning.
Suppose I ought to thank you for your diligence last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. See it, dang it. It's fine, I can show it in a sec.
I thought you'd assign extra men to beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
Ah.
Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley, and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital attending to him as we speak.
So I guess he sees it that... Okay, now that we know that John H. Wilson, who was, as you said, is Watson's counterpart, So if he's a war veteran and a doctor and was seen very respected, obviously that makes sense why Gregson would be so respectable to a 10-year-old.
And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone is in agreement about that?
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense now why he was so respectable to Iris before. Because her father was a very respectable man. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. And that is true. She does do that as well, but I do think that her father is somewhat of the reason of respect.
Oh, well, my manners. Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice?
But yeah, he still has a lot of respect for her.
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grexy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some.
Wow. Okay, I guess he likes the tea.
Ah, lovely. How very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Maybe fear, who knows? I don't even recognize him like this. I don't either. Here, I can show you what I was talking about. And if I move over a bit. Right here. See?
Alright then, let's see what we can uncover.
Oh, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You can't touch anything in here.
Oh, but we were hoping to investigate.
This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake. No touching.
But you see it now, right? Right there? Like, it completely broke the calendar.
What's the problem, Gregsy?
Yeah, that's why I said that was a... That's why I was shocked.
Bruno's a lawyer, you know that.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn in my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruto was to have been properly appointed by the accused, that'd be another matter.
The accused?
If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to let you nose around.
Did you hear that, Bruno? You need Jenny to sign some representative papers.
Looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is the only way. How the frick am I supposed to get the one who does not like paperwork to frickin' sign papers? You're asking me to ask this woman for papers to be signed. Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13th of February, 9 p.m. Article deposited, 1 small box. Loan amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th of April, 9 p.m.
So this is photographic print is a redemption ticket?
13th of February, that could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it?
A small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Bruno, if Mr. McGill still had the ticket, then presumably he never redeemed the article.
I don't know. I guess.
Do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop?
Yes. If it's something if it's something McGill deposited, we need to investigate. Huh. Weird. Anyway, I don't know how to get her to help me, so... Can I just talk to you now? Because I haven't talked to you the investigation. So, how is the investigation going, Inspector?
Nothing really. Nothing to it, really. Very simple, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that driver we arrested last night, in fact.
Gina? You're going to charge her? First, her signature. Golly.
That's right. Should be bringing her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid.
Huh, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the?
Oh wow, so they catch the thugs too.
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you?
How could you? How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Mind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Slomes, have you?
Well, yes, they were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat.
And Miss Letstrade is being held at the prison?
She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course.
Mr. Slomes. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Slomes? What's his condition?
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
Yeah, she would be scary as your enemy.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's hospital's policy, no visiting at all.
Oh,
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He lost a fair bit of blood.
oh no.
He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but hemorrhaging like that is enough to make even the one and only Slomes pipe down.
Mr. Sloan is a human like the rest of us, you know.
Well, anyway, he's having an emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop the bleeding.
But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better?
Of course, your ladyship, he'll be right as rain before you know it.
Dixon is the way he is around us. Maybe he wronged her in the past? Maybe. We don't know.
Really? How'd you know? How do you know?
How do I know, Willem? Because, of course.
Yes, because Mr. Slomes
Is such a great detective, that's why.
He's saving his own. He's covering his own butt. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh, please. Oh dear, please don't die, Hurley.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater.
Thank you. Alright, last thing for the night. Her ladyship. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector.
What? Out with it, sunshine?
Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris.
Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right, you do treat us differently.
The new case would be looking for— oh my gosh, she's spying.
It's because of those Adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories, that's why.
Oh.
I crop him up, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson.
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember, really.
It was one of Sloane's lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me? The very next month, my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you.
Oh, that's why you care about her so much. Your money went up. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, because of everyone at the yards reads them. They read all the Sherlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective would say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think about what would happen to my salad if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Gregsy.
Every month when the new Rancid magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
It makes a lot of sense. It does, it does. I don't blame him for being stressed.
Oh, lovely. Tired very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Teetotaled.
Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about there, actually, Mr. Naruto.
Yes, what is it?
I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now.
Important message? I wonder what it could be. Alright, well we're gonna leave it there and find out what the important message is next time. That's the perfect spot to end. So we got a lot done. We got a lot more into the, 5th chapter. Now we just gotta continue going with that. So that's exciting. No cliffhanger. Oh, well, it means we'll be back. Tomorrow is Zenless Zone 0, so we can see what's going on there. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't miss it either. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!